Okay. Hey everyone, experts on call today. JudyDang, your host. I am with my good friend and mentor, LisMcKinley. Liz is a certified professional organizer, owner of Let's Make Room. Welcome, Liz.
Welcome. Thank you. Great to see you, Judy.
Oh, it's good to see you. So I wanted to get your take on what are you experiencing as a professional organizer with, and what are you seeing with sheltering in place and being at home so much and looking at our stuff?
Well, I'm probably experiencing the same thing as a lot of my clients might be, where they are wondering how they can use this time productively, or maybe just trying on new ways of being, where they're not focusing on physical organizing, but maybe spending the time more to be more reflective, and to be more contemplative about what this is bringing up for them. I think it's, in some ways, the silver lining here is it's an amazing opportunity to discover more about yourself. And 12 years ago when I started Let's Make Room, I really was motivated not so much with the idea of containing things and organizing space, but with this idea of making room in people's lives for what mattered most to them, or having an opportunity to really discover that. And so nothing excites me more than when I hear my clients say after they've worked with me, oh, after we worked together, I signed up for a class, or I had more time to spend on my other interests. And so I think that this, in a strange way, for a lot of people, certainly not for the people on the front line, they're having a very different experience. But for those of us who have, the benefit of being able to be at home without under an enormous amount of financial or emotional stress, I think it's a great opportunity. That being said, I do think that, there are a lot of people out there who are experiencing, a lot of financial, emotional stress from this experience. And I think depending upon where you are, you have to examine how much you can control and how much you can't. So just using myself as an example, my business went down a lot as a result of this, as it did for many small businesses. And I did pursue the loans made available to small businesses. And I just want to give a shout out to one of the lenders that just today I signed the promissory note for my PPP loan through the Opportunity Fund.
Oh, okay.
The Opportunity Fund funds small businesses, particularly women-owned businesses, and they came through for me with flying colors. So I was really appreciative
Oh,
to the
fantastic.
Opportunity Fund. Yeah,
The Opportunity Fund, great.
exactly.
So you said earlier, what can we control? Oftentimes in our surroundings is what we can control. And you help people with what is in your space that you can do something about. Can you tell us something small, a small win that we could be a little bit more tidier?
Yeah, I think really, these are the kinds of things that I've personally done. When this first started, like everybody, I had big ideas about what I was going to do. And I found that one of the things that I was drawn to doing was organizing my own office. And that started one day when I thought I was going to record a webinar of myself. And I sat down to do it, and I said, you know what? I don't feel like doing this. I think I'm going to organize my office instead. And so I did. And my husband and I now share my office because he's a school teacher and he obviously can't be in his classroom or at school. So I spent some time clearing some space for him so that he could have place for his materials. And I just took the energy that I had at that time to sort and purge what no longer served me, and even went into, one of the easiest things, as you know, is just to organize a drawer, and it feels very, you feel a great sense of satisfaction. It's very immediate, and sometimes just the very act of doing a small project can motivate you further to do something else in your life, whether it's organizing or something else that you might be interested in.
Yeah, I have a drawer in my kitchen of to-go and take-away utensils.
To-go, take away, you mean like disposable?
Yeah, plastic forks, those to-go chopsticks and all those. There's a collection of soy sauce.
Oh, okay. I love this. So are you asking my advice about this?
Yeah. Should I?
So so my first question is, are you using them?
No.
When was the last time you used any of them? I mean, like in normal life, does your husband?
No.
So,
how I got them, a big collection of them was from my aunt.
So they were gifted to you. Yeah, right. And I don't think, my guess is that you're keeping them is not going to be honoring your aunt in any great way. But I'm sure you took it off her hands just as a nice gesture. So now they're yours, and you are the owner of the decision of those things. Okay. And so if they should disappear, if like a big sudden gust of wind came in and blew all the stuff out of the drawer, how much would you miss them?
Very, very little.
Very little. Yeah. Okay.
And they're like, yeah. They're messy, and they're like they're ugly, and like, plastic wrapped forks, and things like that.
So why not keep just a small supply for those times, maybe when you are, after this is over, where you might need to do a grab and go lunch, where you just keep a couple of days worth and then let go of the rest. In terms of, what to do with them, if they're wrapped still, they could still be donatable, but if they're not, then they're probably recycle or trash, depending upon what they are.
Okay.
Yeah. And those little soy sauce packets, same thing. I mean, maybe keep a couple of them in case you find yourself, taking sushi somewhere or whatever it is that you use it for, and then let the rest go.
Thank you. And then I'll make room in my drawer for the things that I like keeping around and like to look at. So that's that's how you help clients, is just not just, here, let me get you some beautiful containers from the Container Store, but actually thinking out loud, working through like a lot of deeper things, not just soy sauce packets.
Well, it really doesn't matter if it's soy sauce packets or a collectible, piece of ceramic. Is what's the probability, that you're either going to use it, or is it something that you enjoy and that you would miss? My job is really to help my clients think through the decisions that keep them stuck, and to throw out some of those questions to help you decide whether or not something is still meaningful or useful in your life. And by the way, I would just say, just because something is usable doesn't mean you have to keep it. Everything is usable.
Yeah.
All of the paper rolls are usable. Depending upon, maybe you're an artist or something, but if you don't use them, and there's not a probability that you're going to use them, then they're not serving you in any way. That's the very definition of clutter, right?
Okay, just because it's usable, what did you say?
Just because something is usable doesn't mean you have to keep it.
Wow. Okay. That's a big one. Yeah. I think that's a big.
Yeah. I did want to, talking about this reminded me of a client that I had last week, who is an old client, and whose family my team and I helped manage their move into their home down in Redwood City. And she contacted me and scheduled a virtual organizing appointment with me because while she and her girls, she's got 2 daughters, I think they're about 12 and 14, while they're stuck at home, she decided to take on a photo organizing project.
I got one of those.
So she laid out all the photos in her in her living room, you know, on tables, on surfaces, and then every time she walked past that room, she would go like this, you know, she would be like, I can't deal with it. So she called me, you know, because she kind of needed a plan.
Ah,
yeah.
So you can work virtually during this time and help people with while
Yes.
they're at home.
Yes, and
Maybe.
so I gave her a plan.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you gave her a plan. That's awesome. How to pivot your business right now during staying at home time. Okay, these are my notes from our talk.
Organize one drawer, get unstuck. Just because it's usable doesn't mean you have to keep it, and LisMcKinley.com.
That's
Sounds great. Yeah.
Thank you for helping me work through my soy sauce packets.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Oh, I so appreciate you. Thank you. Great. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. It's great.
LisMcKinley.com.
Great seeing you, Judy.